Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I haven't posted in a really long time. I don't have a reason for it. I just literally didn't post and I didn't feel like posting and editing. And now I have free time, so I thought, why not post something, and something that I've been asked about a lot, which is my witchcraft. Yes, I am a witch. I have gotten made fun of it, but mostly I've just been getting questions and I've just been getting responses from people who are interested in it, and it's kind of a cool thing because this is 2017 and we're talking about magic and witchcraft and really cool things. So to start off, I thought I would just explain what the difference between witchcraft and Wicca is. So Wicca is a religion which is different from witchcraft. You can be a Wiccan and practice witchcraft, you can be a Wiccan not practice witchcraft, and you can be someone who practices witchcraft but does not follow the religion of Wicca. Although in Wicca, you usually focus on gods and goddesses and deities for energy and response and prayer, whereas in witchcraft you just use the elements to kind of manipulate what's going on and kind of using the elements to get what you want, etc. There's a lot of misconceptions around witchcraft that I want to touch on. Witchcraft in Wicca is in no way related to satanic worship. Wicca and witchcraft is not related to Satan. It's not here to cause harm. There are witches who will do as they please, and that's up to them, and they will use curses and hexes and things, but that's their own personal craft, and everyone in witchcraft is different. What witchcraft is taking what's given to us, the earth, you know, the elements, air, fire, water, and so on. We take that and we use it in its energy to get what we want out of life. And so most of the time, it's not even a negative thing. It's using the energies that the universe has provided to gain something, which is kind of what manifestation and the law of attraction and all this stuff is about, which I can do a whole other video on if you would like. But I'm not here to say I'm an expert. I'm in no way coming here saying I know everything about witchcraft and Wicca, because I don't. I'm a baby witch, and term that's kind of been used lately for new people who are just beginning. But I have been doing this for, I want to say, a year. And I just wanted to give my take on what witchcraft is to me and about my craft, because I am asked about it all the time. So now we're going to move into the types of witches that there are. These are just the most popular ones. You do not have to fit into a category if you're looking to join witchcraft. You don't have to limit yourself. You can be whatever you want to be. Witchcraft is to each its own. There are no set guide of rules, and if someone tries to shame you or trying to say this is how you do this, they're wrong. Witchcraft is about taking it and making it your own. There's a kitchen witch, is someone who works in the home, does spells for the home, might bless or charm food, and uses their magic for the family and who is in the home. A green witch works with nature. That's plants, herb remedies, and crystals. An eclectic witch is someone who creates their own practice. So like myself, I consider myself a green witch, but I also take from other practices. So an eclectic witch might primarily focus on green things and crystals and herbs, but that also might mean that they focus it in their home. So they take from the green witch category and the kitchen witch category and they kind of make it their own. For me personally, I just like to focus on plants and spells and mostly crystals. Like seriously, I have a lot. A sea witch is someone who uses things from the sea, obviously, so seashells, seawater, things like that. And there are so many types of witches out there. Honestly, doing a quick Google search will take you to so many things that can help you get started and discover the type of witch that you want to be. A solitary witch, that's a witch that practices on their own. There are many people who are in covens today, but some witches may just prefer to practice on their own, which is totally okay. You don't have to have a coven. Witchy words that have been tossed around, and so when you're starting out to be a witch, all these words are probably going to be like, what does this mean? What does it entail? And I'm just going to kind of list the few words that I needed definitions for. So your grimoire, I can never say that word, I just say book of shadows, same thing, is your experience through magic. It's your journal, you put in whatever you discover, you can take from other witches, put that in there. It's whatever you want to put in there as your journey as a witch. By the way, anyone can be a witch, male, female, whatever you want to be. you're a witch. Altar is pretty much a workbench and where you keep your tools and where you make your rituals and do your spells. For me though, like I said, witchcraft is something that you do for yourself. Witchcraft is something that you take and you mold into your own thing. So for me, my altar is a place where I lay out all of my crystals, all of, my favorite plants or whatever, and I just make it a point where the energy will focus on that point in my room. And so it always makes me feel nice and it gives me good energy. If you want me to do an altar tour, please let me know. I'd be happy to. A wand is a tool that you will use, and it's not really Harry Potter like the Viosa or whatever, like that's not going to happen. But the wand is there because it's a tool associated with the air element, and it will attract the energy in the air and help you perform spells that do not create magic in the sense of Harry Potter, but it takes the energy and it manipulates it in a way that will work for you. The pentagram. The pentagram is not really a vocab word, but it's definitely a symbol that has been construed and given negative connotations, and the pentagram is not here for Satan worship. The pentagram is literally here for protection. That's literally what it is. Witches draw pentagrams. You can do invoking or banishing depending on the way you write it. The 5 points stand for the 5 elements. So the pentagram is literally here for protection. That's why people keep it, and witches keep it in their homes. It's a sign that it's going to protect this home and stuff. So, athame is a type of knife, but you don't use it to physically cut anything. Like you won't be using it to cut up herbs or blood sacrifice, any of that, although some witches do work with blood. Again, witchcraft is open to interpretation to anyone and what they want to use in their witchcraft. I think safety is a factor, and I think that you need to go in thinking, is this going to be safe for me to do? That's why you don't mix certain herbs. They're sometimes harmful to you. That's why you have to be careful and be cautious. An athame, you literally use it to cut away negative energy. You're not going to, I think it has the fire element. I'm not sure. I'll double check and whatever. You're literally just using it to cut away the negative energy. There's no actual physical contact with a thing. A chalice is just for representing the water element, which all these things could be on your altar. Like I'm saying, an altar and its decor and how you have it set up is up to you. There is guidelines and stuff, but I don't really follow that because one, I don't have all these tools. I'm going to Pagan Pride next weekend, so I'll probably pick up all the tools that I need. If you want me to do a vlog, haul, something like that of Pagan Pride, let me know. Once I do get my altar, I'll probably keep those things on it, but my altar is part of a representation of my craft. And so while I don't really have to input tools and keep those, I don't really want those out. I kind of want to have a representation of me, which is why plants and crystals and what I keep on my altar. So candles, there are color responses to candles, each helping to invoke a different energy. I can do a whole separate video on candles and their color meanings. Pretty much this represents the fire element. A familiar. Lots of people have thrown this around, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, their familiar was obviously Salem the Black Cat was technically those witches' familiar, which is just a spirit in animal form that is coming to serve you, to give you energy, to be a companion. So now I'm going to answer just a couple questions just about my personal craft. So how did you discover witchcraft? I discovered witchcraft through TV shows, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, my favorite witch show, Charmed, and also Tumblr, because Tumblr is like always on this wave of new trends. And I'm not saying witchcraft is a trend, I'm just saying that it got so talked about, and it was in my newsfeed, and I realized, this is something I want to be a part of. And I was following some people who converted to witchcraft, and I was like, this is where I fit in, and that's what I chose to do and follow. And also I've always been into rocks, so finding out what rocks had properties for and what the crystals meant was really cool. How long have you been a witch for? I've been a witch for about a year. I think I started last summer. It was when I really got into it and started focusing and collecting books. If you cannot see all my witchy books. Where did you start in your craft? I started with crystal healing. Herbs are expensive and hard to come by, and I was not 18, so I wasn't able to go into this one store where I could get herbs. So that was kind of like holding me back a little bit, but now I am 18, so I can go into any store I want and just be like, yeah, I want all these herbs. But the easiest thing for me was to start with crystals and collecting crystals, and that's what I did. I just got a bunch of crystals, started looking up their properties, what their healing powers were, and yeah, that's probably my main focus of my craft. What's my favorite crystal? My favorite crystal, my first one I ever bought was aventurine. It wasn't this one specifically, it was a little aventurine necklace, but aventurine is really good for creativity, and that's what I use it for. It has always been my creative boost crystal. Another crystal I love is my labradorite. He's so beautiful. He has this cute little glow. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. There's the glow. What highlight does he use? So yeah, those are probably my top favorite crystals. Labradorite is good for balancing, I'm pretty sure balancing like the whole body. I just use it for kind of like clearing away my negative energy, which is what so many crystals are used for, but that's the one that was really calls to me. Do you have a familiar? I would like to say my cat Maurice is my familiar. As soon as she was born, I felt an instant connection to her. I take care of her, she has an instant connection to me, you know, we're very close to each other. She doesn't really stray too far when she's in the house. She is indoor, outdoor. And when I come home, she runs up to me. When she's inside, she's always by my side. She's trying to climb up to come to me right now. So yeah, I think Maurice would be my familiar. I know I've had familiars in the past. I feel like I was always supposed to realize that I was a witch and that I wanted to follow witchcraft. So in my earlier days, in my early life, my childhood, I had a cat named Dragon, and he followed me everywhere. I had a connection with him, pretty similar to the connection I feel with Maurice, and he protected me, he loved me, and I really do think that he was my first familiar, even though I didn't notice it at the time. And some advice to baby witches. First of all, I'm still a baby witch. I'm not anywhere close to an expert. I'm not anywhere close to even under the surface of witchcraft. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I have so many books to read. I have so many things to learn, so many things to practice. But my advice is to soak up that knowledge, get all that information. I'm going to recommend some books in a minute here, but that's all I can advise is to, first of all, get books, get information, do your research, and then two is to be yourself in witchcraft. Witchcraft is coming from your energy. If you don't believe it, if you don't insert your energy into it, it's not going to work. Don't look at someone else's guide to witchcraft. Take it by heart and like take it word for word and try and insert that into your own craft, because it's not going to work. You're going to need to put your own into it. You're going to have to put your own energy, and you're going to have to do what feels right. If this spell says put rosemary in it, but you think maybe another herb would work better for you, put that herb in, subtract it in. You do not have to go by the book. You can celebrate how you want to. Let me go over a few books that I recommend. The first book I recommend is The Modern Guide to Witchcraft. This is by Sky Alexander, and this is basically a very, like I said, a modern way to teach you about witchcraft. It's very easy to read. The pages are so cute, and so is just the whole book cover. I saw this and I instantly had to grab it. You're going to need to learn how to write a grimoire, how to write your book of shadows, so I recommend this one. It's literally by the same person, and it's How to Write a Book of Shadows. I love it. I've read this book, and it really helped me come up with how to write a book of shadows, and I can actually go over how to write a book of shadows in another video if you so choose. Let me know down below if you want me to continue with these witchy themed videos. It's something I'm really passionate about, and it's something I love talking about and educating people about. Another thing I recommend is getting a book on the herbs and their properties and what they are good for. I got Cunningham's Encyclopedia. I actually got this at a it wasn't a used bookstore, it was a witch store, and they have secondhand books, which I thought was cute. This actually came with another witch's note cards and spells in here, so I thought that was really cool, and their notes in here, so I thought getting advice from another witch was really cool. And finally, what I recommend is a book on crystals and what their properties are. This is a small book, so it doesn't really go into detail. I would recommend Crystal Bible. This was the first crystal book I got, but I definitely recommend the Crystal Bible or this one. It's way cheaper and it's organized by color, if that's your thing. So a book on crystals, definitely. That's all my recommendations. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know what you want to see next. Bye guys!